Hey there, this is Justin Hampton for another CompTool Tuesday. And today I wanted to just kind of do a quick update on some of the new features we've released that I think are super exciting. So we'll spend a couple minutes on that, and then we'll talk about some of the other things happening in Comp lately. A couple things that we've recently launched that I think are really exciting. Last week we announced that we have our multi-matching available in CompTool. And essentially what that means is now you are able to market price multiple jobs within a job family across different levels and across all of your pay markets at once using different surveys. And so what does this mean? This means if you're using a Mercer survey, Radford survey, Willis Towers Watson survey, or WTW now, and let's see other surveys as well, and you want to go out and market price your accountant one, you can market price that accountant one in any location, and through some magic that we've got built into our system now, you can press a button and it's going to also automatically market price that accountant one, but also the accountant two, three, four, accountant five, the manager, the senior manager, the director, the senior director. It's going to market price all of those jobs using kind of some of the smart job leveling and job coding in the different salary surveys. And what this is essentially going to allow you to do is market price 12 jobs after you've just market priced one job. And it's going to pull in all the different surveys. And so as if that's not good enough, it is also going to allow you to market price that same job in all of your different pay markets. So let's say that you've got 5 different pay markets, like a low cost of labor market, an ultra low cost, a national labor market, a high cost labor market, and an ultra high cost labor market. What it's going to allow you to do now is market price not just those 12 jobs, but those 12 different jobs in those 5 different labor markets that you've got. So essentially you can create 60 different variations of that market pricing by just pricing one of those jobs. It's really, truly kind of one of the more exciting things that we've released in the last couple of years. So we designed back in 2017, but just never got around to rolling out because we didn't realize kind of how impressive it would be. So, but it is out now. It's a really fascinating tool, something I would definitely recommend taking a look at if you've got some of these different surveys, if you've got job levels in place. It's going to help you build all that out together. Some of the other features we've recently released are in Squirrel. So one of the really cool things that we released, especially for the healthcare industry, that we're really excited to share is that we are now tracking sign-on bonuses in your different job postings. So let's say just think about the healthcare industry, where if you're looking to hire nurses, that is really kind of the ticket to the dance now. So now with Squirrel, what you can actually do is you can come in here and do a search for a registered nurse. Actually, let's go ahead and let's pull this up. Actually, let's share my screen and we'll do a quick search over here. So what we'll do is we'll come over here, and I think we're sharing my screen. Which screen are we sharing? Let's see. Stop. I can't tell which screen that was. We'll share the screen. Share screen number 1. There we go. All right. So now we're sharing. Let's see our Squirrel screen. So if we come in here and we just do a quick search for registered nurse. Oh, by the way, you might notice we've got data from other parts of the world now. We'll do a quick search for nurses, and let's just look for those nurses in Florida. Do a quick drop down over the last 3 months, perhaps. So what we're going to do is a quick search for these reports. So this is a larger result. So this is going to take a couple of seconds to load up. But once we get those registered nurses in Florida over the last 3 months, what we'll be able to look at is specifically kind of the companies that are hiring these roles, the amount they're paying, but also now the sign-on bonus amount. So that's not too bad that we're loading it up. So here, what we've got here is if we kind of do a quick filtering on here. So we've got how many jobs did we pull up? 128 pages. So it looks like, is that over 3,000 jobs? And if we take a look, you can see here that we've got a lot of these jobs that, we've got an unknown sign-on bonus, but we do have a sign-up bonus. And the reason we've got that is if we look in here, what we can find is that there is going to be some language in here that's saying that there is a sign-on bonus, but maybe we don't know exactly how much. So here we go. We've got a signing bonus. So the company in the job posting is actually listing that there is a signing bonus, but they're not specifying how much. But what's nice about this is we can actually start to see how prevalent our sign-on bonus is. But if they have listed the amount, what we can actually do is, and again, I'm just going to point out how fast this is. If we kind of start to scroll through, we can actually start to see if they've listed the amount, like this one here, $5,000 sign-on bonus. If we click on here it is, $5,000 sign-on bonus. So if you really start to think about, as a different organization, whether or not you're struggling to hire these folks, or if sign-on bonuses have just become very prevalent, what we're showing now is that you can actually start to track not only how much are the sign-on bonuses, but who is offering the sign-on bonuses and what kind of sign-on bonuses are they. Again, if we take a look in here and click on this one, there we go. There's that $5,000 sign-on bonus. So it's, I think, truly one of the more innovative and kind of other pieces of the puzzle with comp that a lot of companies have struggled with. So we're happy to announce that we've got the sign-on bonus tracking now rolled out in Squirrel. Something else I'm very happy to announce is that we've also got data from the United Kingdom. So if we come in here, do a quick search for, let's do a search for just nurses in the United Kingdom over the last 3 months. I haven't done this search before. We've got close to 2 million data points for nurses in the UK. So if we take a look at this, what we'll see is we've got, as this loads up, how many different kinds of nurses in the UK do we have data for? So there we go. So we've got a lot of nurses, 2,300 pages worth of nurses in the UK. And what we've got here is very similar to the other. We've got the company, we've got the job, we've got the rate of pay, we've got the location when the job was posted. And let's see if we've also got the sign-on bonus amounts there. So again, it's just another really fantastic way to pull data in that you might not have without a tool like Squirrel. So we're really excited to kind of announce, these several really cool features that we've rolled out. Whereas we've got sign-on bonuses, we've got the UK for Squirrel, almost 2 million data points in the UK if we go back to the beginning of the year. So I think that, these are really, 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 really great tools that we can look at. So 35,000 nurses just in the UK alone over the last several months. So fantastic stuff to take a look at if you are trying to make sure you're staying competitive in the labor market, or if you're looking for data outside of just the US. So I think these are some of the really great features that we've recently rolled out that I would love for everyone to kind of, think about taking a look at it. Squirrel, it's very affordably priced. It's for a single user license, it's $3,000. We've got other different licenses. If you've got a team of 3 or 4 people, it's $1,000 more. So $4,000, and up to 10 employees or 10 users, it's only $5,000. We'd love to kind of show you what we've got, and we'll explain to you kind of how we would recommend using Squirrel. We don't recommend to replace a survey. It's not designed to do that. It's designed to bridge the gap where surveys, aren't able to show data from the last 9 days. They're not able to show data that's company specific. They can show you a really great picture of kind of the overall labor market, but because of safe harbor guidelines, they are restricted with some of the information that they can show. So that's where Squirrel comes in. And so would love to kind of take some time with anybody that's interested in Squirrel to kind of jump into that. If you're interested, please reach out to us. It's compensationtool.com, or you can use our Calendly link. It's calendly.com/comptool/squirrel. We'll be happy to set up a demo with you. And so that's a lot of what we've seen going on here on the CompTool side. We've got some other really, really exciting features that we're going to be rolling out probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks that you're going to like these things. It's going to make some waves. You think Squirrel's cool now, just wait for a few more weeks. And then you'll really be able to kind of get in Squirrel and just really it'll blow you away. Can't go into too much detail about it, but just you want to watch me for the next 4 to 6 weeks. When we make that announcement, it's going to shake some things up. But a couple other things that I think are really kind of top of mind as we're kind of thinking about the comp side. Let's actually go over to, there were some great questions on the World at Work forum this week. And, one of the questions I think that I addressed, and again, if you're not a member of World at Work, I would strongly consider taking a look at joining the World at Work community. I do get a lot of emails from folks kind of asking for, half an hour of time or an opportunity to kind of connect and kind of, discuss some compensation practices. But But I would say that there are a lot of really fantastic resources apart from myself that are very frequent on the World at Work forum. And so one of the things that let's see, where was this one? We were looking at, where is that question? It's talking about collaboration when you've got a particular job that is shared across multiple departments. And if an organization wants to change that job description, and, I kind of jokingly said, I avoid collaboration as much as possible when it comes to writing job descriptions. But I honestly think that, it's unavoidable. You really, to be successful in comp, you need to be able to communicate and message and talk through, lots of different stakeholders and make sure that you're addressing their needs, but also balancing the needs of the business. So one of the things that I recommend doing is keeping those job descriptions fairly high level and fairly generic. If you've got more than 10 bullet points on a job description, if you're kind of talking about the responsibilities that, account for less than 10% of the time that, someone is doing on that work, you've gotten really probably too deeply into the weeds there. And I would really kind of try to recommend bringing that up, because we as compensation practitioners, we have different levers that we can pull to make sure that, not only do we have job descriptions that are defensible, can be used for FLSA purposes, but are generic enough that can be used for job postings. You also have position descriptions. And what a position description is and how it's different than a job posting is, a position description it's a subset of a job. And so here's a good example. I can have a job description or a job that is software engineer 3. And that software engineer 3, it may have your standard language around, writes code, tests bugs, develops scripts to test bugs, develops software applications, and so on and so on. But we can have lots and lots of different kinds of software engineers or software developers. I used to work in a mobile gaming company. We had different developers. They were all software developers, but some were iOS engineers and some were Android engineers and some were Unity engineers. And they all had these different specifications or different specific needs for that particular position. And essentially a position is there's a one-to-many relationship with jobs and positions. And a job may be that high level, kind of broad overview of what are the general responsibilities or what is this job generally doing. But the position might be, what is that person in that job doing? And that person could be, writing code for an iOS game, that person over there could be writing code for an Android game. That person over there could be writing code for a Unity platform. And they're all software developers and they're all software engineers, but they all have, unique skill sets that are specific to the position and the specific function of that job that they are doing, which may not be applicable to all software engineers. So if we think about that, we can have kind of this high level, software engineer up here. And you can have multiple different position descriptions that are, they fit into this software engineer bucket, but then they kind of break out into the position descriptions. Well, another question is, okay, great, but I've got that. But how do we make sure that our employees know what they're doing and know what they're supposed to do? Well, there's a couple of different ways around that. I think one of the more important ways around that is really kind of leveraging individual development plans per each employee. And these are very customized and very specific to all of the employees. And where they're really fantastic is making sure that employees know what's specifically required of them to be successful in their role, but also how to move up in their role. And I think that, if you underestimate how important career progression is and kind of opportunity is for employees within your individual development plans, with your career hierarchies and your career ladders, you're really doing yourself and your organization and your employees a pretty big disservice, and very likely driving potential attrition, because I have found just in my own personal experience that if employees have a path and they know and they're acknowledged for the work that they're doing, and they know what it takes to get from a level 2 to a level 3 and a level 3 to a level 4, and they can work towards those things, it really pays dividends in terms of employee retention and engagement and satisfaction in the roles. But it all starts with that foundation of the job descriptions, the position descriptions, and those individual development plans. And of course, constant feedback from managers that can provide, good constructive feedback and kind of great acknowledgement of what employees are doing. There's actually a fantastic study by Dan Ariely. And Dan Ariely, or Ariely, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but it's Dan Ariely. He's a behavioral economist, and he writes some of the most fascinating books and has some of the most interesting TED Talks I've seen. And I would really strongly recommend, looking at the TED Talk, what makes us happy about our work. And it really goes to talk about, and I won't spoil it, but it really goes into talk about just how valuable and how important acknowledging an employee's efforts are. So I would, certainly go take a look at that. That's Dan Ariely, Ariely. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and what makes us feel good about our work. It's my favorite TED Talk, and I think as a compensation practitioner, it's something that we should all kind of look at and understand, and really kind of be able to take that and communicate that and share that with your staff, your managers, your C-suite, because the study that he does in that TED Talk, it transcends pay, and it is applicable to all organizations. And so I think that, I don't want to take up too much of your time today. But again, I'm really excited to announce several of the new features we've rolled out. We've got our multi-matching. Now we've got UK data. We've also got sign-on bonus tracking for CompTool and Squirrel. So would love to show you what we've done. Would love to, give you a quick demo of Squirrel, of CompTool. And there's a lot of great stuff coming out the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to blow your mind away. So really looking forward to kind of touching base again in the next week for our CompTool Tuesday. And until then, we will see you later. Thanks a lot.